2, hearing and determination on the proposed removal from office by impeachment of Honorable Dr. Erick Mutai, Governor of Kericho County.
Now we will proceed to hear the opening statement by the County Assembly. Thereafter, we will move to hear the opening statement by the Governor. Each party has 30 minutes to do that. Counsel for the County Assembly, you may now take to the floor.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker, and thank you so much, distinguished senators. It gives me great pleasure once again to appear before you on a matter involving a motion for the proposed removal of a governor from office by way of impeachment. Mr. Speaker, sir, distinguished senators, before I get into the pith and marrow of my opening statement, I'll begin by reflecting on the fact that coincidentally, today is the 27th day of August, the year 2025, and therefore today marks precisely 15 years to the hour from the day we adopted, enacted, and gave to ourselves and to our future generations the Constitution of Kenya 2010. I also take note of the fact that in his recent presidential proclamation of August 27th as Katiba Day, His Excellency, the President, noted that it is befitting for the people of Kenya to commemorate this day as a reminder of our collective duty to obey, preserve, protect, and implement the Constitution. I finish that observation by noting that that proclamation also observed that Katiba Day shall be observed throughout the territory of Kenya, including our diplomatic missions abroad, as the day dedicated to renewing our shared commitment to the ideals of our Constitution by fostering national dialogue on constitutionalism, governance, and the rule of law. The County Assembly of Kericho has, by instrument of this motion, caused this House to sit here today and engage in this conversation, this dialogue on constitutionalism, governance, and the rule of law through the prism of the county government of Kericho. It is in the place of an opening statement, Mr. Speaker, sir, to lay out the broad outline of one's case. And therefore, I wish to proceed by laying out the broad outline of the case of the County Assembly of Kericho. The case of the County Assembly of Kericho is that generally, once elected representatives like the governor now before you have some prescribed tenure in office, in our case, a 5-year tenure. But the case by the County Assembly of Kericho is that there is an unwritten word in that 5-year tenure, the words being a 5-year good behavior tenure. The County Assembly of Kericho have brought before you their governor, and they are telling you he is of bad behavior. They now wish to lay out the basis for their assertion that having observed their governor for slightly over 2 years that he has been in office, his conduct reveals bad behavior. The County Assembly of Kericho takes note of the fact that this House ordinarily summons county governors and county executives and sometimes decries the rot in county governments. What the County Assembly of Kericho has done is that internally, through its standing committees and through its ad hoc committees, it has undertaken an oversight role of the county governor and his executive. So they have had a scientific method of approaching this matter. At the conclusion of their investigations through standing committees and ad hoc committees, the rot in the government of the governor now before you has come to the fore. They have therefore carried that rot to you as evidence of bad behavior and will be inviting you to consequently vote for the removal of this governor from office. How will they do that? For example, when the time will come, they will take you through payment vouchers for multiple transactions. Multiple transactions. And when you study those vouchers and their supporting documents, part of the data that you'll come across is found in volume 4D of the County Assembly's documents. So that, distinguished senators, when you look at volume 4D of the County Assembly's documents, you will see a summary of what various payment vouchers and other transactional documents reveal regarding the county government of Kericho. I'll give you a few examples. Evidence will show that a company called Mengro Products Limited was awarded a contract to maintain a bridge at a contract sum of 3,120,790 shillings. As is common with infrastructure contracts, there is a retention amount that is retained by the contracting party, the county government, for a defect period, which is 10%. When the vouchers are laid before you, 10% of 3,120,790, you will notice, is 312,079 shillings. And that is actually the amount that was prescribed in the contract, as the documents will show you. On 8th November 2021, before the governor in question came to office, that matter was settled, and Mengro Products Limited was paid 312,079 shillings in full and final payment of the retention amount. After this governor came to office, fictitious documents were created, new payment vouchers generated, and on 16th October 2024, during the tenure of this governor in office, Mengro Products Limited was paid 312,079 shillings, the same amount that had been paid in full and final settlement on 8th November 2021. You'll be glad that you will have the inspection reports that were supposed to support this voucher for this payment. And whereas this is a contract for the construction of a bridge, the inspection report will talk about how bushes were cleared. You will see that standard observation in all inspection reports to support this double payment. Somebody had a cut and paste observation in the inspection reports to support all these fictitious payments. That company, evidence will show, was given another contract to maintain a road that is specified in the evidence before you at a contract sum of 3,722,878. The retention amount was 372,287. That money was paid fully and finally on 1st April 2021 before this governor came into office. After he came into office, courtesy of creative accounting, fresh payment vouchers were generated fresh supporting documents were generated, and on 16th October 2024, an amount of 372,288, the same retention amount that I made earlier, was paid afresh to the same company. Evidence will show, senators, that Mengro Products Limited, the same company, got another contract for construction of Lelsotet Bridge in Londiani Ward for a contract sum of 4,968,601. The retention amount, pursuant to that industry practice of having a retention figure, was 496,860. Vouchers and other supporting documents, which were obtained from the county executive through the county assembly's investigation committees, will show on 16th November 2021, before this governor came into office, the full retention amount was paid, 496,860. After this governor came into office, on 16th October 2024, the same amount, 496,860, was paid to Mengro Products Limited. In the course of this drafting, I sought to know whether somebody knows who is Mengro, because behind these companies are people. Unfortunately, I was working with people who don't work in the executive, so they could not put a face to who Mengro was. I hope at an appropriate time, this Senate will ask that question directly to those concerned, who is Mengro. Cherire Holdings Limited is a company that was granted a contract to construct a road in Soliat Ward at a contract sum of 4,530,360. The retention amount was 453,036. That money was fully paid during the term of this governor on 28th June 28th June 2024. Full amount paid. On 16th October 2024, 4 months later, fresh payment vouchers were generated, fresh supporting documents generated, and the same amount was paid to that same company, Cherire Holdings Limited, on 16th October 2024. To save time, you'll find that in respect of another company called Spike Investment Limited, through which, by virtue of double payment of retention amounts, the county government of Kericho and the taxpayer lost 383,065 shillings. You'll find that in respect of Green 80 Limited, by virtue of double payment of retention sums, the county government of Kericho and the Kenyan taxpayer lost 416,034 shillings. You'll find that in respect of Prospera Ventures Limited, where the taxpayer, through double payment of retention amounts, lost 423,000, my apologies, 756 shillings. We'll find that in respect of Bitworld Holdings Limited, where through double payment of retention amounts, the taxpayer lost 565,278 shillings. You'll find that in Afriscape Limited, in respect of Afriscape Limited, Rolly Ventures Limited, twice. We are saying this, distinguished senators, unlike in the past where people have come here with generalized allegations on misappropriation of funds. The County Assembly of Kericho has meticulously compiled vouchers pointing to each of these transactions. When you go to page 3 of that same volume, you'll find another scheme of double payment of retention amounts. This involves companies like Prospera Ventures Limited, Breray Limited, Bitworld Holdings Limited, Green 80 Limited, twice, Cherire Holdings Limited, twice, and Spike Ventures Limited. At page 4 of that volume, the County Assembly has tabulated for you the full losses amounting to 8,432,182 in 60 cents. My clients instructed me that if this was one isolated transaction, they possibly would have thought of excusing the governor. The multiplicity of these transactions show either a governor who is not in charge of this county or who is complicit in these ills, and they'll be accordingly asking you to hold that governor to account. While at it, I would beseech the technical team to give you a sneak preview of what you will see in evidence through playing video number KCA V11. KCA V11, which will demonstrate to you another element of high-handedness on the part of this governor. You may pause there. The person whose gumboots you last saw on the screen is the governor before you. That is somebody's private property. He is demolishing it to begin using it as a dumping site without any approvals of NEMA, without any regard of the title documents of that citizen. And the county assembly is saying, we are not bringing here rumors. A court of law has sat and has established that the governor has violated that citizen's right to a clean and healthful environment and has directed this governor to take remedial measures. You will find that judgment in volume number 4B at pages 167 to 193. That will be the judgment of the court. Quite literally, distinguished senators, this is a governor who has taken impunity in his own hands. In his own hands. Evidence will show you that this incident of impunity was undertaken on his second day in office. When that video will be played, you will hear him announcing loudly, there is a new sheriff in town. That's what you'll hear when the evidence finally plays out. We are making out a case, distinguished senators, that this is not a wild goose chase. This is a case founded on solid, tangible, visible evidence and evidence that can be felt by our senses that is properly documented. Distinguished senators, we all remember the infamous Londiani accident where a truck lost course and subjected to abrupt death and injury multiple citizens of this country. The national government made its own contribution to the victims of that accident. The county governor, now before you, collected money, 14 million shillings, to help those victims. In his public statements, and you'll see that in a number of videos, I will not play them down in the rest of time, where he's publicly stating that all this money is money for the victims. At the end of it all, distinguished senators, only 4 million shillings, just slightly above 4 million shillings, ended up to the victims. More than 9 million shillings was eaten under the watch of this governor by his officers, led by his then county secretary. At volume 4B, pages 82 to 83, you will see the minutes that the county secretary presented to the ad hoc committee of the county assembly trying to cover up for that theft. When you look at the report, of the ad hoc committee of the Kericho County Assembly investigating this matter, you will be told 100,000 shillings was paid to the pastor who prayed at the function where we were collecting that money itself. You'll be told 300,000 shillings was given to the county commissioner to facilitate him to move around in that respect. You will see millions of shillings that will be accounted for as money for tents. And I was telling my clients, I wish we were told that these are tents that are set up in the funerals to help people mourn. No. These were funerals set up at hotel establishments for bureaucrats to meet and eat lunch, and the evidence will show you how that was. And we are saying this is evidence of bad behavior. That if there is a learning and teaching aid on bad behavior for removal of governor, this is the one. Mr. Speaker, unfortunately, I can't see the time properly. How many minutes do I still have?
You have 10 minutes.
Thank you. My apologies, Mr. Speaker. My eyes, I think I need to see an ophthalmologist very soon. There is another scandal, Honorable Mr. Speaker and distinguished senators. If the technical team can show us the exhibit at page 14 of volume 6A, if the technical team can show us the exhibit at page 14 of volume 6A, if they can, I'll appreciate. If they won't, then I'll just be able to ask you to look at your volumes. Page 14. If you look at that bundle, you will see some motor vehicle. I wouldn't give the design, but it looks like a Pro Box with some speakers mounted on it at the background. Volume 6A of the County Assembly's documents, soft copy of colored photographs contain a flash disk, but volume 6A, at page 14, you will see people meeting there, and I have two explanations to give, or two evidence will show you. You will see some speakers mounted on a motor vehicle there, and this was a public participation event to settle squatters, a public participation settlement of squatters. Those two speakers mounted there for a one-day event that took 5 hours, you will be told, cost the county government of Kericho 325,000 shillings. Those two speakers mounted there, they are the ordinary speakers that we use in village funerals in day-to-day practice. In fact, the question I would ask if I sat where the governor sits is, why then not just buy speakers for the county government of Kericho in multiple numbers than hire those two speakers you are seeing there at 325,000 shillings? But that's not enough. The people you see sitting in that photo under the sun, you will be told tents were paid for this event at millions of shillings. And the tents are covering those very people you are sitting in the sun. I am demonstrating, distinguished senators, that we are not using the word bad manners to exaggerate anything or as an alarmist statement. We have documented vouchers, and we have documented bank statements, and we have documented photographs to show that. When you turn to volume number 4 of the county, my apologies, there is just volume 4, just numbered volume 4, then we start 4A, 4B, so it's just 4. You know, sorry, my apologies. If we look at volume number 4, I wanted us to look at the photos. The bills of quantities at pages 129 to 136. The bills of quantities at pages 129, my apologies, 129 to 136. You will see bills of quantities for renovation of certain houses at a place called Kipkelion.
Council, as you refer to the volumes,
Yes.
Also refer to the page so that the honorable senators can follow.
I was coming to that. The bill starts at page 139, 129, my apologies, but the actual bills are at page 130. Page 130 tells you what should be done to external walling and to re-roofing. And Mr. Speaker, subject to your guidance, I would want your technical team now to put on our screen the photos of that house, those houses that are in volume 4A from pages 102 to 107. As we look at the bills of quantities in front of you, I would beseech the technical team, Mr. Speaker, to play for us the photos that run from pages 102 to 107 in volume 4A. Mr. Speaker, may you, in the interest of time, direct the technical team to allow our technical team out there to put those photos on the screens?
Just repeat your request.
I'm requesting that there are photographs that are in volume 4A at pages 102 to 107 that can be shown on the screen.
Technical team, can you beam those photographs on the screen, please?
Volume 4A, pages 102 to 107.
Council for Governor, and for the County Assembly, are they in clip form?
They're just scanned photos, they're scanned. Their photos, they just be shown. Alternatively, let me make work easier for everybody. Let's look at volume 6A, the small volume 6A. The small volume 6A. 4A had the black and white version, then I have 6A, the colored version of the same photos.
If Council for the County Assembly, if you can have one of your team members to go to the control room.
He is there. That's why I'm inquiring from what is happening there, because he's there.
Okay.
Yes, we have somebody there. 6A, pages, yes, correct, on the screen. Thank you. I want you to look at the bills of quantities, and those are the houses as finalized and paid for. Those are the houses as finalized and paid for, 2.9 million shillings. Let's continue running kindly, technical team. Yes, those are the houses. Those just pause there. There are a number of houses. They are the same design. They are the old national houses, housing council houses, the same design. But so that's it. Those houses, one of the bills of quantities paid for is re-roofing. And you'll see the description of the roof supposed to be put. These houses have been fully paid for, 2.9 million shillings. When the county assembly steps here and tells you, we have brought you a governor of bad behavior, I beseech you, distinguished senators, to give them a keen hearing and to ask, there are some wrongs you can commit to fellow citizens, and we can say man is to error, and we may excuse you. But the big question is this one of the wrongs, even if this was the only ground, that we can say man is to error and forgive him? I asked myself this question, that if I served as governor and traveled to Kericho West, where this project is, and learned that this is what I'm doing to my fellow citizens, would it prick my conscience that I may be bringing a curse to my own children and children's children? The decision, senators, is yours. Our duty is to lay that evidence before you. Seeing that my time is spent, this is the contour of the evidence that you are going to see in the multiple volumes presented before you. in the interest of the citizens of Kericho County, 3 more years to them is too long. If this is what they're going through, we'll be asking you to help them remove this governor from office, because only you can do that by law established. I rest the County Assembly's opening statement.
Counsel for the Governor.